Everybody says you must not hate, you must not curse, you must not be selfish, because that becomes your karma. Nobody explains why. What I've realized is if we weren't selfish in some ways, then we wouldn't find other people self-serving. If jealousy wasn't a factor in your reality, then you wouldn't be affected by another's jealousy towards you. And if we didn't have hate that we had expressed at some point in our lives, it wouldn't have come back into our experience. And same goes for the positive aspects of life too. If you gave love to the world and if you feel grateful towards your life, then you get love back in return. And that's how karma works. It's a mirror that shows you what you believe. If you observe this in your own life, you will notice that it's because whatever you focus on, it becomes more and more true in your experience. Have you ever seen what happens when you zoom a camera on something? It shows more and more details of that object, right? So think of your mind as a zoom camera and yourself as the screen of awareness on which all the things appear. Your thoughts, feelings, your sensations, every experience that you have ever felt. And what continues a certain karma is the reaction that you give to certain situations. And the nature of the karma depends on the deepest intention you hold behind the responses you choose to give to situations, to people, and to events. If you never took anything in your life personally, then 90% of your problems would disappear. Because if you have noticed, what doesn't register in our minds as a big deal doesn't really affect us. And of course, there are several challenging experiences in your life that may be hard to be traced back to a single memory or a single past event. And some scriptures say that that's because it's coming from a past lifetime or previous lives that we have had. And that's true for even positive experiences like certain miracles that you have experienced and certain unexpected synchronicities and serendipitous events that you may have experienced in your life. All of those tie back to some past positive karma is what scriptures say. Now, we may not be able to really investigate the truth of this from a scientific perspective in our current lifetime. But all that we need to do to convert this theory of karma into something that's practical and relevant is to understand karma as action. Karma is nothing but past action, an arrow that you threw in the past. And think of your life as a circle. Now the arrow is already in the air, so it cannot disappear. So when it does a full circle and it comes back, you have a choice. You can either remain unconscious and be struck by it, or you can remain aware and be present. So when it comes back up, you catch the arrow and run with it where you want to. So in my opinion, the theory of karma is not at all fatalistic, because it's up to you what you choose to do with the cards you have been dealt with in the present. Always. And that's why the saying, do unto others as you would unto yourself, is 100% practical and something that we must learn to apply. But the important thing is to not take it as merely theory or a blind belief, or this moral sermon that you have dismissed subconsciously, but to really evaluate and see how true this is in your own experience, because only then the logic will sink deep into your subconscious mind, and that will naturally dissolve some of these negative tendencies or patterns that you hold within your mind. And even if you have been struck by the arrow, and if you feel like the arrow is catching up to you in some way, you can always take a pause and reflect on why you are feeling the way you do. Why do you feel angry? Why do you feel hurt? What are you afraid of deep down? And truly see that even if the worst transpires, you will be okay. When you choose to be present with your feelings in that way, trying to understand them with sincerity, but with no judgment towards what's coming up within you, you become free of the past karma. And then you no longer need to spend more time in past patterns or past thoughts of anger, lack of wishing ill in big and small ways. You feel it's in your power to remain disengaged with the thought process or the mind momentum. You feel like there is a gap between who you are, the witness, and the thoughts. There is enough space within yourself to choose uplifting thoughts. And that's how you start feeling more energized in your day. And you start developing compassion for yourself. You're not critical or judgmental about yourself based on your past actions. And eventually you experience mudita, which means feeling happy for others in their happiness. Alright friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. I'll see you guys in the next video.